Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this quarter's Kentucky Innovation Hub's quarterly update. Thank you for joining us for the update, presented, of course, by both KSTC and KY Innovation. And together, we support our hubs and our entrepreneurial support organizations in each of our regions across Kentucky. I'm Lisa Bajornis, Executive Director of our 6 Innovation Hubs in Kentucky with KSTC. We have now completed a full 12 months, so that's going to be 4 quarters of this last fiscal year, and we're going to highlight those results that cover the period of July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. And we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share all of the progress and the impact and the results of the work of our 6 innovation hubs around the state, along with their regional partners. And of course, this quarterly format allows us to keep you informed with transparency about the state of startups across the Commonwealth. And as you know, our hubs and their partners provide coaching services, curated connections, and a whole broad array of startup resources and programming for their startup clients, all of which importantly helps startups grow across the Commonwealth. And we track that activity and as well as the startups' growth and advancement. And so I just wanted to take a moment in our State of Startups report this quarter to share some of the exciting headlines from the past quarter. So first, I do want to welcome a new team member, Steve Smith, who is serving as Director of Create's Elizabethtown office. And he is at the center of Kentucky entrepreneurship. We also call it COKE for short. They had their grand opening in May. And then we also had a really nice farewell for Lisa Williams last month, who has served in the director capacity there for the last 20 years. I especially want to thank Access Ventures for hosting a very important legislative agenda workshop in early June. They brought together entrepreneurs, investors, and advocates from across not only just Kentucky and Indiana, but also the US. And we focused on identifying and developing high-impact Kentucky and Indiana startup policy recommendations, particularly keeping you as founders in mind. We have really enjoyed Network and Chill's recent roadshow. It's called Hues of Innovation, a roadshow celebrating Black and Brown founders. And they've been holding fireside chats with influential founders in Louisville, in Covington, in Paducah, and together with those hubs. And the purpose of these roadshows is for founders of color to be able to network, to showcase their startup ventures, as well as gather information, allowing them to access capital and grow their businesses. So lots of kudos and congratulations to share with all of you. Especially congratulations to the outstanding finalists that were selected to the recent Ernst Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2023 for the East Central region. We had Lee Fox with Alta Fiber, Dan Oliver with Dan-O Seasoning, Julia Reagan with RX Lightning, and Chris Ratterman with Shady Rays, who were selected based on their demonstration of long-term value through their entrepreneurial spirit, their purpose, and of course, really impactful growth. Invest 606, an accelerator out of our Eastern Kentucky region, held its annual pitch competition. They had 3 winners. We congratulate Flower Lady, grand prize of $15,000, as well as in the Create region, Bumped Up was the first place winner in Kentucky Commercialization Ventures Impact Competition. And Bumped Up, you may recall, is an evidence-based digital technology. They're improving the physical activity and health outcomes among pregnant moms and postpartum women. Awesome Inc. has had 2 5 across pitch competitions in this last quarter. So we congratulate TidalWise, who was the April winner, who is developing a very flexible tool for the real estate settlement process. And then also in June, we want to congratulate Kindly Benefits, who is on a mission to make health insurance accessible for everyone. Congratulations to them. Startup Appalachia winners, Bluegrass Tickets took home first place. Bluegrass Crickets took home first place and $10,000. Congratulations to them. And we're very supportive and appreciative of Amplify's support of Ideathon for diversity and tech innovation. And congratulations to Feed Coyote from the Grow West region, who took top honors back in May. And also, congratulations to AuthoFi, also in the Grow West region. They were the recipient or winner of the Western Kentucky Innovation Challenge. And we'll talk more about them in just a bit. Lots of activity among our startups, just a few to highlight with you. Of course, we're all getting to know the American sustainable fashion that's coming out of the SOAR region through apparel company New Frontier and their circular jeans. In the Grow West region, welcome to Hopflight. They are the civilian arm of their urban air mobility operation. They're going to house in 5,000 square feet at Paducah's Barclay Regional Airport, and they're partnering with the Paducah campus of UK's College of Engineering. So welcome to them. We're going to hear more about Better Blend and founder Isaac Hamlin from Blue North, so I won't step on that, but they're doing some great things. And in the Create region, Michelle Mitchell, founder of Family Fun Ice Cream Parlor, was the recipient of the 2023 Kentucky Woman-Owned Small Business of the Year and the 2023 Kentucky Pacesetter Award awarded by the Kentucky SBDC. Awesome has recently hosted 12 fellowship startups at their recent fellowship demo day in late April, and that was an amazing event to really hear and see the progress of those 12 startups. They had Feed Coyote, Smooth Creations, Cartoonize My Pet, C2 Keep, 13 Layers, VR Together, Influ, Minigrip, Active Therapy Systems, Prep Sharp, UJoin, and Party Horses. Congratulations are extended to Trustware in the Amplify region. They were accepted to the Techstars Web3 Accelerator. They're combining both software and hardware in a wallet that provides ease of use for traditional web with first-class security, and that tech is recoverable, and it recognizes the social nature of blockchain. And then again, in the Grow West region, Feed Coyote was selected to Techstars Atlanta Accelerator. Congratulations to them. And down in our Create region, that team's been working diligently with Easy. They have their VectEasy platform, which is a stock photo platform. They recently struck a very lucrative deal with Shutterstock. And so that's an amazing progress as a new partnership there. On the capital front, the hubs and I track investment activity across Kentucky startups, which means the number of startups that receive funding and the total amount invested in those companies. And in the last 12 months, so a full year, we've had 80 startups funded at well over $64 million in early stage investment. The largest investment deal in the last quarter by far was RX Lightning, located in the Louisville region. They've developed a specialty prescription management platform, and that's going to help digitize, automate, and streamline the very, very complicated prescription process of manual enrollment, particularly for specialty medications. RX Lightning raised $17.5 million through a combination of Series A1 and A2 venture funding, and that deal was led by LRV Health, and then McKesson Ventures, Bright Spring Health Services, Hearst Ventures, DRX Capital, and HealthX Ventures also participated in that round. And RX Lightning is going to use that funding to support their growth as well as remove barriers to further life-saving therapies. And then just to wrap up, some hub news that I do want to highlight, and I promise I won't step on anybody's thunder because I know lots of good stuff's going to be presented shortly. Amplify has partnered with a national organization to provide funding and startup resources to underrepresented founders. We'll hear about that. Incubator Kitchen in our Blue North region held its biggest event of the year, Power to Pursue, with a lineup of super exciting speakers that shared their testimonials and strategies in pursuing your entrepreneurial calling. The Wild Accelerator just wrapped up their third cohort of Black and Latin women founders, and we heard those presentations at their demo day. And we certainly look forward to hearing more from Blue North today about their new Resilience Accelerator. That'll be exciting. And also thanks to Create for their support in bringing Lunai's headquarters to Bowling Green. I won't say any more because I know we'll hear about that. But before we hear from our hubs, it's always my pleasure to introduce Monique Quarterman, who's our Executive Director of KY Innovation, so that we can hear the latest in cabinet news. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful information and successes across our Commonwealth. We are so fortunate to have such wonderful opportunities flowing out of our 6 regional Kentucky Innovation Hubs, the reason that we're gathered here today. I am here just to share a couple of updates statewide before we get into the real good stuff, right? Hearing from the hubs all of the wonderful progress that they've made across the Commonwealth over the past year. So first, I'll kick off with saying, hello, we have a new name. So thank you, Kentucky Legislature. As a result of the Cabinet for Economic Development's restructure, we are now the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Super happy about that, and it is reflective of the expansive work that we do that goes even beyond small business. We do a lot of work that impacts existing businesses and industry that have a innovation lean, but we continue to support our small business community as well, in addition to our research and innovation in partnership with our colleges and universities. So you will be seeing more information from Kentucky Innovation in the future, but do know the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation is the same. We just got a new shiny new name. I will also say welcome to Steve Smith leading the Koch Center in Elizabethtown. Congratulations to you, Create Center, and really congratulations and thank you to Lisa Williams. When you have someone like that who has provided so much public service, exceptional public service to their community over the decades, they become a shining star and a role model that a lot of us can model after. And so grateful to the Create Hub and also Lisa Williams for her awesome service to the Commonwealth in that role. I'd also want to say an extreme thank you to the hubs and the partners, including our universities and communities. As we continue to travel across the Commonwealth to various events and gatherings and ribbon cuttings, this is really a team effort, and I cannot stress that enough. To see how chambers are involved and to see how industry are working with our hubs and how our hubs are also engaging the investment community. It's so exciting to see. During fiscal year 24, we plan to execute a statewide strategic plan for economic development. You may have seen in the news recently that we have selected our consulting partner for that, and that strategic plan is being conducted in partnership with the Kentucky Association for Economic Development. Here's why I offer that. When it comes to the Kentucky Innovation Hubs program, the cabinet is adamant about continuing the spirit of partnership. On the federal level, we see record investment coming from the federal government into entrepreneurship and innovation, and we want to take full advantage of that. As we look to fiscal year 24, you will see with this program some preparation on the cabinet side in preparing for the fiscal year 25 request for proposals competition. We want to encourage all of you, anyone watching, to reach out to your 6 regional Kentucky Innovation Hubs. They have built phenomenal experience in this space. They have excellent connections in serving the community. We want to see this opportunity continue to grow and impact the Commonwealth in so many positive ways. And so in closing, I encourage all of you to be excited along with us in hearing these stories of impact from corner to corner of our state. Coming up very soon in our market, this Friday, in fact, we have the Minority Business Expo happening in Lexington, Kentucky that we're excited about, but also the Metals Innovation Initiative Conference coming September 5th and 6th. We encourage all of you, anyone watching, that if you're interested in entrepreneurship and innovation, you are excited about what you see in the presentations today, that you reach out to your Kentucky Innovation Hub and start that partnership process. It is going to be critical for the future of our Commonwealth and its contribution to innovation across the United States. Thank you, and appreciate this time to share with you. Thank you, Lisa.
Great. Thank you so much, Monique. We appreciate that. And we certainly look forward to, I know, all of the work involved with setting the strategic agenda for economic development for Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump into it. Just moving clockwise around our state, we're going to hear from all 6 of our innovation hubs. Of course, we've got Awesome out of our Lexington region, Blue North located in Covington, SOAR primarily located in a very large geographic area out of Pikeville. We have Create representing Bowling Green, Grow West in our Far West region in Paducah. And of course, rounding out, we have Amplify in the Louisville region. You'll notice that we have 2 satellite offices there, Elizabethtown represented by Create, and Create working with Owensboro. So moving forward, this is what we're going to talk about today. The hubs will share 4 quarters, so a full 12 months or years worth of their results against their 12-month goals. And these are the 9 impactful metrics that we had identified together that they continuously track. These are the 9 key metrics. And as I have said before, the very most important metric of all of these 9 would be the 3rd one there, number of startups advanced. Continuing to work with our founders, work with their startups, advancing their businesses across the spectrum of startup growth in order to connect them to those various resources that make a difference in that advancement. We know that when early stage companies advance, then they have the greater chance for funding, they have the greater chance for those early customers, that early adoption. And when that happens, that's when they utilize those funds, those connections, those customer revenue to hire. And so that certainly impacts our number of jobs created, as well as the stability. It brings talent into all of our regions across the state, and we continue to grow and prosper. This is why this work is so very important. So we'll hear a startup win from each of our hubs in the last quarter that they'll highlight about one of their startup clients. We'll hear very quickly about a recent event that they've hosted, and then importantly, a strategic initiative they have planned for the new and coming fiscal year. And I'll remind each of our hub presenters today, you have 5 minutes, and we will get through all of it. And I'm pleased to let you know and introduce Dave Knox, who represents our Blue North region there in Covington, as well as representing Florence, Erlanger, and Newport. Hi, Dave.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Thanks for having me today. Excited to kind of give you an update on the world of Blue North and everything that we have going up here in Northern Kentucky. Let's start with the first success story that Lisa hinted at a little bit in the intro, that we're real excited of the progress. One of the first entrepreneurs I started working with when I took the executive director role was a young gentleman named Isaac Hamlin, who is the founder of Better Blend. He's a University of Kentucky graduate as well, who returned back home to Northern Kentucky when he finished graduating from UK. Over the past few years, he has launched his own 3 corporate-owned stores with locations here in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. And over the last 6 months, Isaac has really taken off with the business. He has just started franchising the businesses. Over the last several weeks, he's actually opened the first of those 2 franchises, one in the northern Cincinnati suburbs in Mason, Ohio, and the second that just actually opened this last Saturday in Fort Mitchell. Things are going incredibly well. There was lines out the door for the business. and super excited for the 10 franchises he's going to be opening here in the next few months. With that momentum, he's starting to be recognized in a pretty meaningful way. He won the SBA Young Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of Kentucky, and also just won the Northern Kentucky Young Professionals Generational Leadership Award for Entrepreneurship. Both of those were actually nominations that Blue North had made on Isaac's behalf to really draw attention to one of those entrepreneurs that deserves it. He also received funding from the Northern Kentucky Entrepreneur Fund in partnership with Main Street Ventures, and he continues to give back. Over the last week, he told his story to 100 of the E's that were participating in the Governor's School for Entrepreneurship, and also spoke to the Northern Kentucky Leadership NKY Economic Development Day. We've really been rolling up our sleeves with Isaac in a lot of different ways, helping him think about different models for fundraising, whether it's equity, revenue-based financing, et cetera, how to partner with his franchisees, how to think about the warehousing for different components, different sales models, and then how to think about blending both a local marketing standpoint and a brand building marketing across the board. So one of our major partners, and also one that I love because it shows that high growth entrepreneurship doesn't just have to be tech and SaaS based. You can create amazing high growth businesses that can be as simple as awesome protein smoothies and acai bowls across the board. So that's that one. Then from a result standpoint, we're really pleased with where things are going from a Blue North standpoint. Across the board, pretty much all of our metrics were ones that we were able to not just meet, but also exceed across the board. For me, as Lisa mentioned, advanced startups, that's the most important metric. And you get there by startups served and startups referred. Are we sitting down, spending one-on-one time to really help these entrepreneurs to tackle their challenges? And more importantly than that, are we then connecting them with people even smarter than us that can help them move their business forward? Both of ones, we've exceeded our goals this year. Super happy with that. Obviously the last year has been challenging from a job creation standpoint with what's going on, but we're really pleased with across the goal, the metrics that we have. Next slide. Then related to that, it's been a surprising year from an event standpoint. With the world reopening, we didn't quite know what the yearning would be from an event standpoint. People are hungry. People want to get back. They want to engage. They want to interact. So we've really been focusing with supporting our sub-grantees with those events, but also doing select events ourselves. Most importantly, partnering up with others in the state. For instance, we're really pleased to host the Hues of Innovation event with our friends at Network and Chill. And then earlier in February, we partnered up with Larry and the team at Amplify to run a happy hour here in Northern Kentucky that exceeded expectations. So really pleased across the board. We did fall a little bit short on the startup investments, but that's actually because one of our companies that soon will be raising a very, very, very large amount of money that exceeds all those numbers below, that fell into July, August instead of in June. So, fiscal year timing sometimes it doesn't work perfect, but we're super excited on that one. Then, the final two things I want to cover. First is our launch of the Resilience Accelerator. This is both a programmatic thing that we'll be doing and a service that we're offering. So we've partnered up with Dr. Lena Ellinger. Dr. Ellinger is a clinical psychologist that actually specializes in PSTD, and she's been working with the VA hospital. And she's helping us create a series of programming, both written content, webinars, and others that help founders think about mental health and think about that words like I'm busy, I'm stressed. Those are things that actually need to be addressed and helped with, and to give the tools for entrepreneurs to really get to the next level. This work was really inspired by Brad Zapp at Kinetic Ventures. Brad and I were having a conversation, and he said, when I look at our founders, we role model and we financially model those companies that aren't going to be successes. What we don't model are those that aren't able to break through a tough time to get to that next level of the business. The Resilience Accelerator is to give our founders the tools to get there. to break through those moments where they're stressed, where they're hurting, to get to that next level of their business and keep advancing. We're super excited about this. The feedback has been amazing. And we're looking at really expanding this in partnership with folks like St. Elizabeth Hospital and others to think about what we could do with this. And also, how do we expand it statewide? Because this is something we all need to address and look at. Next one. Our final kind of major initiative for the year is a very exciting project that's going to be something that will soon be called, formerly known as SIMS. This is a 47,000 square foot building right in the heart of Covington that we're partnering with Kenton County and others in our Northern Kentucky ecosystem to turn into an entrepreneurial hub. This isn't a co-working space. This isn't an incubator. This is an accelerator. This is a space that we are going to bring all of the entrepreneurial community together, from investors to entrepreneurial support orgs to startups themselves, in a flexible space of high growth, but also in a public space. It's not going to be one that you can't get into if you're not a member. It's going to be one that we bring the community together to really be that physical front door that models what we have going on across the board. We partnered with Covington Creates to actually come up with the naming for the building. That is an organization of some of the top creative directors and agencies across our region. They've taken it on as a pro bono project as part of us being founding sponsors and members of that program, that they're going to be working with us on the naming. And we're super excited for what this looks like. The county actually just took ownership last week officially under the Port of Northern Kentucky. And it's going to be an exciting, exciting journey across the board. And we also just took the E's through Governor's School for Entrepreneurship through last week to show them what the future of Kentucky entrepreneurship looks like for them.
Great. Thank you so much, Dave. And we're very excited for the eventual new home of Blue North and many of your partners up in the region. And in particular, thank you for bringing back to focus, the importance of mental health, particularly among very stressed founders and entrepreneurs. We appreciate that focus with the new Resilience Accelerator. All right, it's now my pleasure to introduce Sabrina McWhorter. She's Director for Business and Innovation with SOAR in our Eastern region and representing the, as I said, large area of Pikeville, Moorhead, Ashland, and all parts in between. Hi, Sabrina.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, everybody. Thank you again for another opportunity to share about the startups in our region. As Lisa mentioned, I'm the Director of Business and Innovation for SOAR, or Shaping Our Appalachian Region. You can advance to the next slide, please. So we recently completed our 2023 Startup Appalachia pitch competition, where 7 finalists had the opportunity for a grand prize of $10,000. And this year we had over 30 applicants from 14 different counties, and each finalist had a tech component, which is amazing because we are seeing our pitch evolve over the last couple of years. And it's a true testament that if you create the right environment, more startups will emerge. In the end, Bluegrass Crickets from Casey County took home the first place prize, and we are thrilled. He has already put the prize winnings to use on his expansion. We don't want to reveal too much because he hasn't publicly posted that yet either, but be sure to head over to his Facebook page and his website to stay in the know. He and a previous pitch winner actually made no hesitation to collaborate following the event, which is just a wonderful thing to actually see. Second place winner went to Exiled Inc., which is in Pike County. They received $3,500. And third place winner is from Toonsville in Pike County as well, receiving $1,500. And unique this year, we were able to offer a money prize to our crowd favorite winner, which was Black Box Energy Solutions out of Bath County. And each finalist that did not win received $500 thanks to the continued support from Community Trust Bank. So this event, we were just so happy to have another successful one. It really sets the stage for startups to share about their business in front of a well-designed audience and crowd that gives them the opportunity to also win some capital. Next slide, please. So diving into a year of review, our team has been hard at work working with entrepreneurs and our partners from across the 54 county region. We were able to serve 540 startups through one-on-one coaching, mentorship, offering our direct services compared to our yearly goal of 312. We referred out 66 startups out to the amazing ecosystem that we have here in Kentucky. These are organizations like the Kentucky SBDC, Mountain Association, Community Ventures, SCED, Apex Accelerators, and more. We have a lot of them and they're amazing. That was compared to our annual goal of 48. We had 24 startups advance in their business through expansion, capital raising, job creation, compared to our annual goal of 12. And just like Lisa and Dave both said, we love seeing those advancements because that is growth. Our team supported in the creation of 12 new businesses compared to our annual goal of 6, and supported 35 new jobs compared to our annual goal of 30. Next slide, please. We hosted 33 events, from workshops to accelerator programming. All these different events are really curated to meet the needs of the startups. Those are compared to our annual goal of 8, and over 3,621. We got a lot of numbers on this slide. Attendees compared to our annual goal of 360. So that was really impressive to see. We're thrilled to have 26 startups funded over the last year compared to our annual goal of 8, with a total of $1,755,000 invested in those startups compared to our annual goal of $300,000. That's all in all, it's been a fantastic year of growth here in Eastern Kentucky, and we're super excited to see where the future takes each of these startups. They're doing some really incredible things, and we're really grateful to be on the front line to be able to see the magic happen. One of our amazing events that we have created this year is our Ignite the Fire Within event. This actually brings our top startups to the stage to inspire and share their stories in a very intimate setting. It serves both current startups and up-and-coming startups, and our goal is really to create that environment where the right people are in the room to make the magic happen. We will be having this event travel to different parts of our large region in order to draw those startups out for a fun night with others. We obviously draw them out with a lot of fun, so we have locally crafted foods, drinks, games. We even do s'mores bars and giveaways, so it's always a great time. But this really allows those top startups in our region that opportunity to meet folk from across the region, and we really strategically intertwine those speakers to cross-pollinate all across our region so that they're meeting new people, making new connections, and they're naturally collaborating in a very low stress environment. And then hopefully after these events, they're going to go ahead and just continue that across the region and amongst one another to really just continue to bring the fun. Next slide, please. And finally, our innovation team has been busy little bees building out our new self-service page. So coming later this year, we're excited to launch a library of how-to, step-by-step guides and tutorials that entrepreneurs can have access to 24 hours a day. We recognize that startups need support no matter the time of day, and we want to make sure that they have access to well-curated material that will help them advance their business rather than depending on 2 a.m. Google searches. I remember those days that land you in a rabbit hole and you never really get anything done. So these videos and tools will be a great asset as we work with our clients through our suite of direct services, and then they can use this as a follow-up tutorial to really empower them to take the reins and advance their business. So that is all from us, and we're excited to hear from everyone else. Thanks, Lisa.
Great. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Really appreciate all of the efforts that you have put into place to create infrastructure. And as you've said, more of that startup infrastructure, the capital being made available does attract those venture backable potential companies. So congratulations to all of your success. All right, moving on now to our Lexington region, we have Garrett Farbach, who is Director of Outreach and Student Engagement with Awesome Inc., and of course, representing that Lexington and Frankfurt region. Hi, Garrett.
Lisa, good morning. Every time we have these calls, it tickles me that they just seem more professional. I almost felt like we were listening to a newscast when you first started out with Monique and you. So
we've come a long way.
yeah, waiting for the little jingle, like, and now over to sports. So to kick things off, again, thanks for making these first class. Dave and Sabrina did a great job starting these out. one startup win from our region. I'm going to highlight the UK Launch Blue and UXL program and their team. Here's a really cool win from a new company they've been working with called Critter Fitters. So any of you who are still working at home and you're a cat person, here is a cool new product that they are working with the team to have a successful, which they've done a great job so far, but a successful launch from Kickstarter to actual product development, to have in your swivel chair, a little platform for your little feline friend. So I threw the link on here. I know these slides will be shared afterwards. Would highly encourage you to go check their product out. It's got some pretty cool features. And again, nothing super sexy, but they've reinvented the wheel for a product that seems to have a high demand. So great job to all the team that Eric Hartman's working with at Launch Blue, and just doing excellent work. So next slide. Hey, you're beating me to it. Thanks so much. So I made a couple notes, and I'm going to be looking off to my side. I've been writing some stuff down. Lisa, again, thanks for making these awesome and very clear about setting what's the most important. So I'll just go from top to bottom, but number of startups served, that has been a very fun thing we've gotten to do through all the teams here, Base here, UXL, and Awesome Inc. And so we've been able to reach a lot of startups. And one thing that cannot fail to be mentioned is how helpful all these other hubs have been on here. And I know for me, I'll make a mention of a few people in a minute, but it's been really awesome, no pun intended, to see how many times all the different hubs have made referrals, phone calls, emails, invites for people all across the state to come and join. So it's always fun when I get to meet someone from Paducah or someone from one of the Eastern Kentucky counties who says, oh yeah, Sabrina mentioned me, or Monica mentioned me and referred you guys. So that's been really cool, just to help us have a wider reach with some of our offerings, which bleeds into the referrals. And so I know for me, at least, some of the direct folks, Larry and Amplify, Sabrina with SOAR, and Monica over in Grow West have been very helpful, especially with Fibercross recommendations. That number has skyrocketed, and it's fun to watch all of our team talking with startups all across the state. So I know every one of you have contributed, but for those three, you have blown up my email quite substantially, and I'm very appreciative of that. So keep it up. And then Lisa, this is one that's most important, is Startups Advanced. And something that our team has done internally is we actually revamped how we've been tracking growth. And one of our newer team members, Ben, who is a wizard, I'm not kidding, he is so smart. He revamped the system that we've been able to track all the fellowship alumni, some of the Fibercross companies that we've been keeping an eye on. And then we've compared that to what the standards are, or what the metrics we're looking for with this KY Innovation Grant are. So we finally streamlined that, and then we do, now we do 2 a year, 2 different essentially check-ins. And so we found that a lot of companies have been progressing, which is really exciting. Again, we've had companies since 2014 that we're still keeping in touch with, which is always a good sign. And then that goes right into the new businesses created, new jobs, keeping up with some startups that are giving us updates of, hey, we have this job that just opened up, or we made part-time offering. And then helping folks, again, from UXL, when people pitch ideas. For the Awesome Week, I have an idea form submission where someone wants to build an app or a product. We give them a little homework to do to see if they actually do what they say they want to do, and help them move that idea along to maybe become an idea. And just a lot of fun stuff that's going on. And then last one I want to mention is the Launch Blue team and Base here have just hit home run after home run with high quality events that are attracting lots of attendees. And they're making it really fun. And Dave mentioned people they have the itch to get back around others. So very grateful for them, and they've just done phenomenal work this year. And then we're still working to make sure more startups get funded. That's something that is an ongoing goal of ours. And then for the startup investment, we are at a pretty high number of 44.8 million this year. And Keith deserves a lot of recognition. He has worked his fanny off to make sure these startups are getting opportunities, and that we're keeping in touch with all their outside investment. So last 2 slides, I'll blitz through these real quickly. Some of you in this call might have participated, but number one, thank you so much for coming to Lexington Wednesday, June 21st for our annual speed dating events, which is entrepreneurs, investors, or founder pairings, getting just to shake some hands, put some names to faces, and essentially sow seeds for future deals and really just future friendships. And this has been something that people have been asking about for the last 3 years. Hey, you guys doing this again? When's this going to happen? And that's always fun for us, especially when we have new faces come through and say, hey, this person in my region referred me, or hey, I heard about this from a buddy 2 years ago. How do I get involved? And this is one of the most fun events we do. It's just kind of controlled chaos, to say the least. So really enjoy that. And then the last slide, I've gotten a lot of emails and I hope I get more. This is open to anyone on this call here in person watching, or whenever this is posted on the internet. In a few weeks, we're going to a barefoot retreat out in the Glasgow area, sort of near Western Kentucky. And this is a fun environment. Dave, you mentioned mental health for founders. People get to take a load off and just enjoy camaraderie, have some really helpful sessions. Sabrina, you mentioned all about having a well-crafted environment. That's what we try to do very well. This is a free event, free food, free games, free fun. We want to blow up this campground with attendance only. So everyone, you're welcome to come. Here are some of the details. We have past 5 Across judges, presenters, investors, Awesome IQ boot camp, people that we've helped train. There's a lot of good people. Anyone is welcome. Highly encourage you to recommend it. And it's gonna be a Wednesday evening through Friday morning. And with that, I have hit 5 minutes. My alarm just went off. So Lisa, thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll be available to answer them.
Great. Thanks so much, Garrett. And we appreciate you also highlighting just the interconnectedness of our innovation hubs as we do the very best that we can to make sure that wherever the resource may reside in whatever area of Kentucky or at the national level, that we are making those best connections again to help our startups advance. So thank you for all of the referrals in and among the various resources within our innovation hubs. And moving right along, we'll now jump over to the western side of the state representing the Grow West Regional Hub. And today we have a fairly new team member to Grow West within Sprocket, Hannah Ranval, who's Community Development Coordinator, and she's going to give the update for the Paducah, Madison, Murray area of our Western Kentucky region. Hi, Hannah.
Hi. Thank you, Lisa, for the introduction. Yeah, I've been working with Sprocket since August and been learning a lot about kind of the region and the state initiatives. It's really cool to be on this call and hear what everybody else is doing in their hubs. So moving forward, the company that we would like to highlight is AutoFi. Last quarter, we ran our West Kentucky Innovation Challenge. It's really popular in the region in that we ask non-technical founders to bring us their tech solution idea, run through our program, see if it's buildable, 1, and 2, is there a market for this? Is there a business viability component that we can help with? After this program, it was about a 6-week program, we had them participate in our pitch competition to see if they could receive grant funding to build out an MVP. AutoFi won by far in that we had 3 winners out of this competition and she hit first place. AutoFi is a really cool idea that I think we can all appreciate in healthcare. Is tackling pre-medical authorization is a really tedious process. It is healthcare companies have to request from insurance providers for pre-approval to do a procedure or operation. That usually takes a long time. There could be errors, sending back and forth. And what AutoFi seeks to do is to automate that. There's a lot of redundant information that gets filled out that could be made more seamless. So they are actually 90% done in building out that MVP product. They are wrapping up with adding in more of the AI and robotic automation processing. And once they have that done, they're going to be ready to launch to market. And we are tickled to hear that just recently they've got 2 large healthcare, like national healthcare companies that have brought kind of interest and said, we would really like to use your product when they launch to market. Next slide. Looking at and kind of tying that in with our key metrics, I would say we did pretty well in knocking all of our metrics out of the park. And a lot of that has been kind of heard and reverberated in your other hub updates, in that people have been wanting to get out and connect and meet up. So we were able to serve 272 startups. Of those, we were able to refer 102 of them to our kind of network or state resources to get more connections to mentors or investors, customers, any sort of experts that they are needing. The one that we focused on a lot in Grow West was that advancement. moving our startups forward. And what we saw over this past year is that with COVID, a lot of people wanted to start their business that they had been thinking about for a long time. And we were able to actually connect up with a lot of them and help them move that growth stage where it was kind of this like bubble that was waiting to pop of like everybody's ready to just like move their company forward. So of that, we also had 17 new businesses and we were able to create 37 new jobs. Like everyone else said, we had a lot of events that we were able to host with our partners where we had 96 throughout this past year. And then we had 2,267 attendees come to that. We were also able to more than double our startups funded. We had 13 compared to the 5 that we were looking to get funded. We fell a little short on that amount, but we are working towards that, where we had 1,270,000 invested in those startups. Next slide. So, like Lisa mentioned earlier, we were one of the road stop places for Network and Chill's Hues of Innovation. It was really cool to see in our West Kentucky region, we have a lot more brick and mortar buildings or businesses that have like a physical location. And so one of the things that was really cool to hear in some of those conversations that came from this Network and Chill event was Chris and Ricky bringing this idea of like, how do tech entrepreneurs think about promoting their business, sharing their business, communicating that story, and how that's actually kind of different compared to how a lot of the brick and mortar businesses have been thinking about it. And so you can see from these photos, we had a lot of engagement, a lot of discussion, and a lot of question asking, which I'm always thrilled because it means people are enjoying what they're doing. This was, of course, in partnership with Amplify Louisville and held at Sprocket. And we really enjoyed the turnout for that. Next slide. Lastly, kind of given an initiative forward, we are going to be partnering with Aviatra Accelerators out of Covington, Kentucky. Basically, we are looking to meet more of our women entrepreneurs in the region and provide programming tailored to them. This will be a series of programs, but the first one that we're going to launch is the Side Hustle Without the Hustle. That'll be October 11th for any business owner that's looking to turn that business idea or what they already have as a side hustle into a part-time income stream. We're really looking forward to that and kind of tapping more of that network in our region of people that want to build out those businesses. And that's our wrap up.
Great. Thank you so much, Hannah. Really love all of the intra-hub partnership that you all have been doing. So thank you for that and highlighting the successes and impact out of that. Nice job. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our Louisville region, and sitting in for Larry, who I believe is on vacation with his family, taking that mental health break. We are really pleased to have Kiana Baker, who is Amplify's Director of Community Engagement. And I do believe that Jen Callahan, who is their Director of Marketing, is going to join her in just a moment. So hi, Kiana.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here today. Of course, I can't do what Larry does, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to fly through these a little bit because I want to make sure that, number one, we respect everyone's time, but also that our last slide is a big focus for us, and we want to have plenty of time to chat about it. So we're going to talk about a success story here. Michael Brizendine, who has been a very early founder that we worked with from the very beginning when we were first trying to figure out how to tell the Amplify story. Michael Brizendine is the founder of Your Nest. It's a social media app that really focuses in on connecting students and teachers and faculty and staff on college campuses with one another, as well as with the things and the events that are going on around campus that could be helpful for them. Michael, over time, has raised over $250,000. He has been accepted into some awesome accelerator programs. And he first started working with us through our EIR, our former EIR, Kelly Ivanier, who is now also one of his mentors and helping him to continue to just move forward and accelerate his company. And we're very, very proud of the work that he is doing and will continue to do. So next slide. All right. So some of our results over this last fiscal year, we have startup served 1,500. Our goal, we completely knocked out the park. Startups referred 566. I think that this is a really big one for us, especially because we focus a lot on community and collaboration and partnership. And all of these kind of connect for us. So Startup Serve helps us also advance startups as well through all of the different partnerships and relationships that we've built. We're able to pass that along to the founders that we serve so that they can do the things that they're trying to do. And then new businesses created, we have 15. Our goal was 20, but we also have some cool things in the work to hopefully help us to exceed that goal next year. So we hosted 46 events this year. Our goal was 16, and this doesn't include the events that we sponsored, which makes up a large portion of what we do. We had 1,800 event participants. Our goal was 400. So continue to build upon that and provide founders with what they need in order to help them continue to advance. 46 startups funded, and that startup investment was $118 million. So one of our event highlights for this year was our Founder Forward social event. We partnered with Founder Forward, which is an organization based out of New York City, and they have these cohorts all around the nation, and Louisville being one of them. They're formerly known as Reunion. So that we funded 4 founders, which were Dues 24, Bright Trace, Pep Rally, and Kentucky Greens Co. They met with 36 volunteers who hosted workshops for them throughout their 3-month period that they were working with us. 25 hours of coaching, and we raised $65,000 for them to split as a grant at the end of the program. Here is just a little example of the social event that we had, where each company had the opportunity to demo their companies and share it with the community. Now I'm going to pass it on to our marketing guru, Jen Callahan, so that she can explain all this goodness happening for you all.
Thank you, Kiana. Hello, everyone. So our new strategic initiative is to continue elevating our platform online. I think a theme that I continue to hear throughout is making resources accessible and also moving and advancing founders. So one of the things that we have taken time to do is create a dedicated online space, which breaks down any barriers geographically for us to make it possible for founders to meet like-minded founders and other stakeholders in our community, and also quickly get access to critical resources. And we will continue building upon that. As you can see here in that visual, we're bolting on a lot of new things that we think just really elevate the opportunity for founders to get questions answered around the clock. I think I heard Sabrina say this too. We want these materials, people, and curriculum to be available at any time of day. So we are launching something we're super excited about, which is an AI-powered chatbot. So that will be coming out in the month of August. And we are going to launch, we have some help with from a creative team to put together a really cool name and character. And I don't want to give away too much before we launch, but it's going to be a nice tool for founders to be able to just go online. If you can't get a hold of me, Larry, or Kiana, you'll be able to talk to our new AI-powered chatbot. And we also have just continuing to amplify the founder stories through online content that is rich content and helps us recognize the great things that are happening here in our space.
All right. Thank you both, Kiana and Jen, and we very much look forward to the new world of chatbot entrepreneurial support and how that goes. Thank you so much for the update. this quarter. All right, and then finally, as we come back to our central region, we have Buddy Steen, who is Program Director with Create and representing Bowling Green, Elizabethtown, as well as Owensboro. And Buddy, welcome. We look forward to your update.
Hey, thanks, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's been a good year, I'll have to say. I mean, we're so proud. There's about 19 companies in the pipeline. One that just came out recently is a group called Luna. And basically they're startup experts. It's startup as a service. So how perfect is that? To have a serial entrepreneur, her team, helping our startups, and mentoring them, and they're already doing it. So we're just very excited. The other company that came with that group is Araya Health, which is a telemedicine mental health company, and Amanda Havard is the founder of that and her team. So we've got two companies in one with that, and we're really excited. Let's go to the next slide. So one of the reasons why the numbers that you see are large is we have a 20-acre property. It's 285,000 square foot facility, and we have multiple tenants, in here. Payrolls last year increased by $8.8 million. Okay, just on the property, there were 170 some odd jobs created from scratch. We have a lot of connection to our ecosystem stakeholders. I counted up 572 meetings that we had with our ecosystem stakeholders, not each other, but with folks, around here. And that creates an alignment with the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce, the city of Bowling Green, Warren County, planning and zoning, believe it or not, the cultural folks downtown, the university, the innovation campus, the folks at the state, Lisa and all of our cabinet group. And quite frankly, KSTC and others that are strongly in our ecosystem. So this year we reported 823 startups that we met with, meetings that we had with them. Our goal was 300. Referrals to like SBDC, we had 260 referrals. Our goal was 100, and SBDC reported $5.3 million. They're in this building, $5.3 million in loans and equity, which is not in our numbers here. Okay, but this is the kind of multi-million-dollar, multiple type of instances that go on at the innovation campus at WKU, which is Create is the economic development group for them. Startups advanced, we had 29 advanced, our goal 6, number of new startups, 21 with a goal of 15. Just to give you an idea of activity, I'm not sure which one of these companies we would count, but we got a report yesterday that in 2022, 1,658 new businesses started in Warren County alone. So this is a very, very rich startup company. Now, a lot of those aren't tech companies, and they're not necessarily scalable, but that's a lot of activity. The number of new hosted events and attendees, we had 33 events. We had 1,167 folks in them, and our goal was 12,500. Number of startups funded, 14 that we could count. Our goal was 6. And then the number of invested in startups, this is an interesting number. We have a collaborative smart space that we created here, 31,000 square feet. This is for startup initiatives, subject matter experts, solopreneurs, and so forth. In that space alone, they raised $6.2 million in private equity for the companies there. Then outside of that, around this place, $7.3 million in startups, and we had one of our startups have an exit of $40 million. So, there's a lot of activity, and it's just difficult sometimes to compare that. I think PitchBook, Lisa, had 13 million. They were showing BehaveVR, which is an E-Town company. It's a virtual reality company in E-Town, and they raised $13 million according to PitchBook, and we'll talk about E-Town in just a second. The number of new jobs, this is important. Sometimes difficult to track. I know it's a lot higher than that. Our goal was 100. We counted 183 new jobs. And, you know, that's a substantial amount of economic development. Ecosystem building events. We had a startup garden. By the way, Lisa Williams invented Startup Garden, Lisa Bajornis. And it's been a hit all across, you know, this region. She started out in E-Town with the startup gardens, and then it spilled over into Bowling Green, and everybody here loves those. So we're really excited about that. We do have a Summit of the South meeting every year, and this is a kind of a collection of startup experts and subject matter experts that come together, and we were really happy about having that. Go next, please. So there's really two big things that are going on. One is we had Stup Fiber, which is a brand new ultra high internet speed fiber company, put their headquarters here in our facility. Okay. They have 100 gig internet switch that they put in there, and they are providing 10 gigabit internet connections to residents and commercial customers in Bowling Green. This puts us among the top cities in the country. And if our calculations are right, that 100 gig internet switch makes our building one of the most connected buildings, with multiple tier ones, of course, on the other side of it in the world, quite frankly. And so we're really happy about that, because that's kind of infrastructure that you use to bring in some of these, you know, what we would call hyper realistic folks, the VR, the AR, the AIs, you know, and believe me, we're working on doing that. The collaborative smart space, I would say that and the co-create database are our two huge initiatives. I mean, that thing's taken off. We haven't even opened it really to the public, and I think we have 220 members now, you know, in there. Near perfect internet, 24/7 access, you know, training rooms, conference rooms, private space, and then access to other places here. And so that's really getting a lot of attention. Collaborative smart space also now exists in E-Town. Steve Smith has taken over Lisa's position. They just opened their collaboration space. They call it Coke. And you'll hear more about that in the coming year. They'll get some information out. But that place opened up in a fantastic facility in one of the best located places in E-Town. And by the way, about 15 minutes from that Blue Oval plant, which is a huge, you know, obviously that's going to drive a lot of economic development, the suppliers and everything around there for years to come. So that's my story, Lisa. We've got something going on. I wish I had more time.
Thank you, buddy. It's always so nice to see the expansion and watching the campus grow there, and how many of the things that you have implemented are being duplicated in another area of your region in Elizabethtown. Thank you, buddy. All right, very quickly, just a few minutes over here, but wanted to make mention for your calendars. Our next monthly ESO webinar is planned for Tuesday, August 15th, and we will be discussing the difference between companies being Canopy certified, B Corp certified, and public benefit corporations, PBC. So the difference and the benefits of those certifications for your startup clients. And then our next quarterly update from our hubs, where we will report on the start of a new fiscal year, is planned for Wednesday, October 25th, also at 10 a.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars for those dates. Thank you for joining us for a year-end wrap-up of all of the impact, progress, and results against our hub goals and some of our highlighted stories and successes. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.